Welcome to episode 6 of the Out of Podket podcast. Girls, bring home the wine. Today, we have a special guest. It is Will the Thrill Johnson, sports editor for the Gaston County Republican. We are very lucky to have him.
Yep. Very excited.
Our podcast, our first guest.
Very exciting.
Yep.
Very, very excited.
One of hopefully many guests on this podcast.
Yeah, we would definitely like to have some former athletes come in too.
Mm-hmm.
That would be interesting. That'd be to hear some. The big thing would be hearing like stories from I feel like that'd be fun to listen to. You know, somebody who maybe has experience winning.
Mm-hmm.
So,
States.
Will, what made you get into being a sports editor?
Well, from a young age, I just read sports pages, and it just stuck. It just stuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
See, I love sports. I would love to get into other ones, but I really do enjoy especially being an athlete too.
Mm-hmm.
Just like baseball and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I ask you this question: who's the best athlete you've seen come out of Owensville?
Male, I've got to go Ryan Cooper. I mean, hard to beat a 3-sport All-Stater. And
Yeah.
then
Of course.
Haley Disselkamp, all-time leading scorer, rebounder, not only here but at Drury.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy. She was really, really good. I remember their run to state, watching them. They were just really good. Her and her sister both were really good athletes.
Yeah, I remember watching their Final Four games on TV too. They had them on.
Really, they had him on TV.
It was
Fidelity, local 6.
some local
Awesome.
It was
channel,
Fidelity, yeah.
and it was fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It was very fun to watch.
Speaking of those two, they were the only, one of 2 or 3 sets of sisters to ever play each other in the GLVC. Because Bree was at UMSL the same time Haley was at Drury.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
I know Bree was a freshman, Haley's senior year, wasn't she?
Yes.
Something like that. I remember they played together in high school, but I thought it was only their year they got third, I believe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very exciting though.
Yeah. Are you like a big NFL guy?
Yeah, fairly
Is
big.
that- Yeah, I don't know. It's a hot topic. I don't know if you've seen probably the Stan Kroenke episode.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Where I was just
Yes.
going at him. But, ever since the Rams left, I haven't really watched the NFL too much.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously we're doing NFL Pick'em and stuff. So, I mean, if you would like to join us for NFL Pick'em,
Sure, why not?
because we do that all the time.
Yep. So, NFL Pick'em last week.
They had my good week.
I had everyone did good except me because I tried picking the opposite of everybody. So,
Zayden's blowing us out of the water, too.
Zayden went 5-0. Matt and Owen went 4-1, and I went a whopping 1-4.
Oh.
So now I'm tied down there at the bottom with Owen.
Yeah.
How exciting. And then this week, we have, of course, 5 new games. 49ers, Seahawks, Jaguars, Bears, Jets, Bills, Lions, Cowboys, and Buccaneers, Saints.
Yep. Some good ones this week. Last week we picked some good games. They were all really close games
Yeah,
that we picked.
Texans game came down to a field goal. The Bengals-Ravens was a field goal in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rams, Packers, and Cowboys, Steelers were both good games.
Yeah,
I was
they
actually
were.
rooting for the Rams. They're in my parlay.
Yeah. But then the Chiefs Saints game, surprisingly, even though I picked the Saints, was expecting them to get beat pretty bad.
Yeah, it was
The
closer than I
Saints,
thought.
it was actually a really good game. The
Yeah.
Saints made it like a 2-point game late in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't pull it out, but still a very exciting game.
Yeah.
So first game we're going to be picking is 49ers Seahawks.
I got 49ers.
Owen's got the 49ers. What are you thinking, Matt?
So with the scoring, Owen's always lost, right?
Hey, not last week. I did pretty good last week.
Well, yeah, because y'all all picked we picked too many easy games last week.
That's
I feel
true,
like
that's
I got screwed on it because I tried being different. So no more of that. I'm chalk picking from now on.
Give me the Seahawks. Give me the Seahawks.
Seahawks. Will, you got any thoughts on this game?
That's it. Where is it, actually?
Oh,
It's in Seattle, I believe.
49ers, I'd say.
what do you got, Jansen?
I'm also going to be taking the 49ers. The 49ers have been rough recently. I feel like they need a big
Yeah,
bounce back game. They lost to the
definitely.
Cardinals. They lost to the Vikings, and I don't remember the other team, but I remember the Cardinals game was a pretty rough one.
Yeah,
Zayden, I know you don't got a mic, but who do you want me to put you down?
49ers.
Zane's also got the 49ers,
Oh,
so
man.
Matt's by himself on that
Lone
one.
man.
So it's either we all win or Matt wins.
Then we got Jaguars and Bears. Oh, and if you want to start us off again, we'll just go in the same circle.
I'm gonna have to say,
Jaguars, by the way, finally got their first win last week. I
Yeah.
believe they were the last defeated team left.
yeah, I don't think they're gonna get another one. So I think the Bears.
Owen's going with the Bears.
The Bears.
Matt,
The Bears.
The Bears.
also the Bears.
Matt's gotta go with the Bears.
The Bears.
It's his team.
Will?
Yeah, the Bears.
The Bears.
Of course. Zayden. Zane's got a few games to give. I'm also going Bears. I don't know. Maybe I should pick with Zane, but I'm going Bears. I got to stay.
Hey, pretty one-sided
with
this week so
Owen.
far.
Well, that was the same way last week, except last week it was just me on the other
Yeah.
side, and it bit me. So, Jets Bills.
That's probably gonna be a pretty decent game.
Bills.
Aaron Rodgers
Versus Josh.
I feel like Aaron Rodgers has been kind of shaky this year.
Yeah.
Also, the Jets this week fired Robert Saleh, their
Yeah, I did see that.
head
Yeah.
coach. So,
I think I
that
got the
could make it
Bills.
interesting.
I think I got the Bills.
Owen's going Bills.
I'd have
Matt?
to agree with Owen for once.
Matt, you agreed with me on the last two. Last one.
It was an accident. It's an accident.
Who you got, Will?
Channel my inner Chris Berman and say Jets, 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 Jets.
Oh, Jets.
Zayden? The Bills.
Bills.
I'll also go Jets. Why not? I did this last
Split it
week
up a
and
little
it didn't
bit.
work, but
Lions, Cowboys. Is it at Dallas?
versus would mean
So
it would be at Detroit, I believe.
at Detroit.
I believe is what that
Ooh.
means. I don't know. Matt really didn't
I
tell
think
me the
it's the-
locations.
I think
We
it's
just
the
looked
other
at
way
game.
around.
I think so too.
Because when I
Well,
was
generally when it says at Dallas, it'd say at, so that means it's in Dallas. So if it says versus, it's probably in Detroit.
okay,
That's what
well,
I just.
we're wrong.
We didn't look at where it
We
was
don't usually
actually. Now that I
that much
look
into
about it, we just
Well, we just pulled it up.
we just pick games, but
You have to look.
it don't matter. On who do you
Yeah.
think?
I think I got the boys.
Them boys.
Them boys.
Matt, who you got?
Cowboys. I think that's probably gonna be game of the week for our picks right there.
I'm gonna go with the Lions because I've been picking the Cowboys because they're the regular season team and
It didn't work out.
They've been cooking me so.
Who you got, Will?
I got Motor City Kitties.
Motor City Kitties.
Yeah.
Heck
I'm
yeah.
also gonna take Detroit. Zayden, who you got?
Hey,
So Owen's all on
just
his
wait.
own today.
Just wait.
Yeah, this is gonna be the week Owen's gonna pass me. I can feel it.
Tampa Bay Saints. I think I got to go Saints. I don't
Owen's
know.
going
Baker Mayfield is kind of
Saints.
playing out of his mind right now.
Matt, who do you got?
I'll go Tampa Bay.
Signing split already.
Let's go Bucks.
Okay.
I mean,
Zayden.
Come on now.
So Zayden's going Saints.
What do you think, James?
This could be a big week. This could be a big game for me, Owen.
This could be a bad week for me.
Saints are on a 3-game losing streak. I think they bounce back.
I think they got it, yeah, because they at the beginning of the season they were playing really good, and then they just kind of fell apart.
This week I'm trying not to pick based off everyone else's picks. This week I'm trying to
I just try to do what Owen doesn't do,
pick
and what my gut tells me.
more what. Oh, there's the
Picks of the week,
picks of the week. If you can read my handwriting.
close enough.
Oh man, that is rough, Jansen.
Yeah,
well-
you know, man, it got the job done. They heard us say them, so
What if they weren't?
if they were it's we're good. We're good.
So, tomorrow we got Owensville
versus Union?
versus Union,
Yeah.
and I don't know for a fact. We got Will here, so he can correct me. But has Union won a game yet?
They have not. Somebody will be 1-6 after tomorrow night.
Yep.
That's always exciting. It's always exciting either when two defeated or two undefeated teams play to see who can
Yeah.
Not have a complete lost season
or to see who could keep the win streak alive. That's
Yeah,
always
it's always
a good time. But
Union's on their 4th quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing. I heard a lot of them got
Oh,
injured.
Yikes.
Uh-huh.
Well, I know you might be a little biased. I don't know. I don't think you said Union would be in that area you covered, but what do you think about this game, Will?
Owensville's best chance for a win.
Well, yeah, for sure. I would definitely agree with that because they play 0-6 Union this week, who, just mentioning like head-to-head to maybe compare them to Owensville, lost, I believe it was 42-7 to Pacific a couple weeks ago,
Yes.
who Owensville played this past week, and the final score was 62-14 on that game. So we scored more than them, but we also gave up a lot more to Pacific. So
Yeah.
I always like when I'm trying to gauge, future games, I always look at common opponents maybe to
Yes.
see if you can gauge. We both got blown out by Pacific, so maybe it'll be a good game. But
Yeah.
looking ahead, you got Sullivan, who everyone coming into the season, I think, was thinking Sullivan was going to take a step back, but
They have been a good
they've
team.
been
this
solid this year.
Handed Herman their first loss last Friday.
season. Yep.
Yeah, on Herman's homecoming, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
then
rough.
I believe St. Clair, unless they've lost recently, I believe they're still undefeated in conference.
They are.
They're looking like the conference favorite.
They host Herman and could lock it up.
Yeah, so that's a tough one. And then looking ahead to our district,
Pretty tough district this year. Can't lie.
well, I feel like in football we tend to have very top-heavy districts. We always have 2 or 3 teams in our district that are just
Yep.
good
Yeah.
teams.
Borgia Burroughs live for life.
Yeah, those.
And then Lutheran North also.
No, Lutheran South is in them with us. Lutheran North's class 4.
I thought Lutheran North was in the district. I could be wrong on
There's
that.
like 6 of those schools. They're all like.
But either way, the Lift for Life and Borgia alone. I mean, those are we've already played
Yeah.
Borgia, and I've watched a little bit on Lift for Life, and looks like a good team.
At least Cardinal Ritter's in class 5, and they'll probably stay there for a while.
Hopefully, yeah.
I don't think they'll go down
No.
anytime soon because they're.
They're still winning.
Yeah. Are they undefeated this season?
I'm
know.
sure they
Yeah.
are.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
The only way they lost,
I
I
thought.
would bet, is if they played like Lift for Life. I remember looking at their record, and at one point they were 1-2, and then you get on. They played a team from Chicago and a
Yeah.
team from Texas.
They played Cardinal Ritter last week, and I think
It was 50 to like 16, I believe.
something like that. Yeah. 2 very good teams though.
So I mean, it's
Cardinal
was-
Ritter's always good.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
always good.
them college prep schools.
yeah,
They're tough.
yeah.
They're tough always. But yeah, so it'll be exciting this week. It's also senior night. The way it's looking, obviously, with districts, it will be our last home game. We're not going to get a district home game even if we won out.
Right.
So exciting to see if maybe we can get a win at home one last time for obviously all our seniors.
That's the last home game to watch for us too.
Yeah.
Be there like, as a student.
Which, of course, that's exciting or whatever, but I'm more thinking about, like, of course, I don't play football anymore, but as a player,
Yeah.
I would, if this was baseball and it was our last home game, I would hope that we could, go out and get a win for
Yeah. One
to
last
finish
time.
it off. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
Speaking of all these private schools that are in our district, Will, do you think they should do something different with private schools and public schools in different districts or something like that?
Oh, I've heard this so much throughout the state. I mean, some say split private and public, but I think the way Michi's doing it now is probably just about the best they can do.
so did you say some states do split them? Is that what you were saying?
I mean, they've been talking about
Oh.
it, but
I thought you were saying that
No.
some states maybe did do it because I
I don't think I've heard of anyone doing that. But
I don't know. It's a hard topic because, of course, there also are private schools that we would beat too. Is the other that would be the other tough part is if you do separate private schools, then do you have classes for the private schools too?
Yeah, that would be
It'd be-
tricky.
yeah, it'd be
Because there's a
confusing.
lot of private schools that are way worse than we are too. I mean, there's them small private schools that never win games ever.
Yeah, but then you look at like somebody like Cardinal Ritter, and you're like, they probably shouldn't be playing the Owensville Dutchman.
Exactly. So, I think it's a more complicated maybe question than most people might say. Just
Yes or no?
Yeah, it seems like for Owensville, it's a cycle. Like it's like every 4 years you'll have a better team in each sport. Like it's always a cycle. So we're not a bigger school.
Well, like a perfect example is we literally beat Lutheran North or Lutheran South in districts last year.
Yeah.
Like we literally just beat a private school. So, and then we played Cardinal Ritter our freshman year.
yeah.
This would
3
be
years
the
ago.
third year since then, which is another private school, and we were a really, really good team.
Yeah, for us, yeah.
Probably could have made the Final Four if we played public schools,
Yeah.
and got unlucky. And
Played Cardinal Ritter.
because that's the biggest thing with playoffs. I feel like is where you get which side of the bracket you're on.
Definitely, yeah. You can kind of see that with girls basketball, their bracket. Like I feel like a lot of the really, really good teams in state were in the top half of the bracket, and they were down in the bottom with some of the easier teams. But not saying it was an easy route at all, but just saying that some of the teams that they ended up playing in the Final Four were really good teams from the top half of the bracket.
Well, of course, based on the games they did play in Columbia, you would think that, of course, they beat us at a neutral site. So if we would have had to play at their place if we would have had to play at, Central Park Hills, or who's the other team we played? Chillicothe, I believe.
Boonville.
If we would have had to play at one of those two instead of going to Aurora,
Yeah, exactly.
in theory, you would think that we would, based off how we played against them, we would have lost that game, and we never would have made it to the Final
Exactly,
Four.
yeah.
So it's always interesting to see how
All it lines up.
how much the district plays in. Because Borgia is a perfect example. You put Borgia in some football districts, and they blow everyone out of the water. But you put them in with Lift for Life, and now it's you have a game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So be interesting to see how all that pans out.
It
But
will be. Yeah.
another interesting football topic right now is the good old Mizzou Tigers.
Oh man.
Definitely interesting.
That is so hurtful. That A&M game is just it was just at Mizzou fashion is what we did and choked. I mean, I don't know. We still have plenty of opportunity to be able to, like you said, Jansen, the other day, if you're an 11-1 SEC team,
You're making the play.
making the playoffs. So, I mean, that's the road ahead.
But we also play some tough teams. We play Bama, don't we?
I think
Yeah.
that's not this weekend, but next weekend, I believe.
Yeah.
They're a good team. They always are.
I mean, what are you guys thinking about that game now that you've seen us,
I don't know. We beat. Wait. Never mind.
we beat Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Obviously, Vanderbilt beat Alabama, which
Was also a crazy game.
awesome to me. I love that, watching them, especially a team like Vanderbilt just go in, beat Alabama's number one.
Nobody expecting it at all. Like,
Carry the
Yes, yeah.
goalpost into the
Yep.
river.
yeah.
Those are always
Oh,
cool
man.
to see.
Yeah, those are some of my favorite moments from college football. Are when the fans rush the field and
Yeah.
I believe they also did that in Fayetteville when Arkansas beat Tennessee. They also
Yeah.
they stormed the field. I saw that one too. Two very exciting, big SEC upsets in 1 week.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think, is it UMass this week that we're playing?
Yes.
Yep.
UMass. That's another school that we should. Are they independent? Are they
Yes,
not? So
they're
they're an independent. Yeah, that's gonna be. I mean, obviously we should beat them. Pretty good. I mean, I don't know how UMass is, but how Mizzou. Their passing game has been a little dry, and the defense against A&M was. Oof.
From
Yeah,
what I've
rough.
seen with UMass, is I feel like they're kind of similar to Boston College, except they're not as good.
Yeah.
Boston College is a better team. But, of course, they've heard us yap about Mizzou for weeks. You got anything to add, Will,
Yeah.
about what maybe you think about their season and the future of them?
Mizzou needs a bounce back. And this is the perfect week for it, and
Definitely, yeah.
get him back on the SEC road, and just hopefully not have another stumble.
Oh man,
Of course.
we can't. I mean, another bowl game. I don't want that. I want, especially with that expanded playoff. It'd be so cool at least to just see us make it.
Yeah.
I think on one hand, you look at the Mizzou's 41-7 loss, and you think, that's like the season on it. But the more I think about it, too, I feel like this week in the SEC really showed that in the SEC,
Anything can
anything can happen.
Anything
I mean,
can
you see Mizzou, who is were they top 10 going into that game?
They were.
They were nine.
Yeah.
You see a top 10 team lose to a also ranked, I believe A&M was like 22.
Something like that, yeah.
Lose by 34, so you think, that's all bad on Mizzou, but then you also watch Alabama, number 1 ranked Bama, lose to an unranked Vanderbilt team. You see Arkansas lose to number 4, I believe, Tennessee, or beat number 4 Tennessee.
Yeah.
And it really just shows that, I mean, Mizzou could win 7 straight.
Good.
Definitely could.
I mean,
yeah.
anything really
Anything
can
happen. I mean,
Anything is possible.
I just think
So-
that what messed them up is coming to the season. Like last year, they were underdogs. Underdogs was something to prove. This year we came in and it was like, oh, you guys, they got coddled a little bit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, they are good because it was that bounce back season. I think it messed them up a little bit. They thought going into, especially like Vanderbilt game, they're like, oh, it's just Vanderbilt, like no big deal.
Yeah, and then they make it close and
Yep.
show them they can play.
Well, another interesting topic I saw on the Mizzou topic is on the ESPN radio. They were talking about Luther Burden in that game, and a couple of the other, star talents on Mizzou's roster. How it seemed like in the A&M game they kind of checked out, and I'm kind of interested to see how if they can bounce back from that, or if they're just going to crumble the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So I hope the best for them, but I can't do anything about it.
Will, how long have you been into like sports editing? How long have you been doing it?
Here I've been doing it. It'd be 18 years this Christmas.
Holy crap.
Yeah. As long as
Were you somewhere else before here?
I was born and raised in Canton, Missouri, which is in the northeast corner of the state, early 2000s. Then I started stringing for the Washington, Missouri in fall of 06 when the Dutchmen made their run to the Dome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And the guy at the Missourian gave my name to paper here, and a couple of months later, rest is history.
Yep, there you are covering us now. Covering us, Herman. You said, where else? You got Herman, Owensville.
Bell, Vienna, Lynn, Chamois, Fatima.
That's an interesting slate of schools.
Very. Four conferences between them.
Yeah,
It's a lot to cover.
that's a lot of
A lot of ground.
a lot of things.
Yep.
But
And he found time for us.
Yeah. There we go.
It's awesome. So how did you figure out about the podcast?
I watched you guys.
Yeah. And
Likes is right up my alley.
Yeah.
it's so cool that we get the opportunity to sit here and talk about sports during school. It's
Yeah, I mean,
so
you
cool.
wouldn't want to do that, really.
I mean, yeah, that was the whole purpose of starting this podcast. Was every week we get 30, 45 minutes just sit here and talk about something that
Well, how much we hate the Cardinals.
all 4 of us enjoy.
It's a love-hate relationship.
It really is,
It
yeah.
really is, man.
We need to go back to 2011.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Well, I think all of us Cardinals fans go back and watch David Freeze's home
Oh,
run.
yeah, yeah.
Just to
Oh,
feel
I
the
watch.
feeling again.
I feel like more than the home run, I see the triple is the one I see over
Yeah.
and over. His triple to tie the game in the 9th. That's from the Cardinals 2011. That clip is the one I see the most.
And that night was actually also the 80-75 game with us in St. James.
Really?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
That's interesting.
I didn't know that.
I've heard about both of those events,
Yeah.
but I've never.
they happened the same night.
That's interesting. I remember, I was, of course, I would have only been 5 at the time of that time, but I remember my dad was he's not as much anymore, but back then my dad was a big Cardinals fan. I remember him when they went down 3-2, being all not in a very good mood for a few days because they weren't playing too well. And then I remember, of course, I was asleep by the time that game would have actually happened, but how it felt like his mood was almost based off how the Cardinals were playing at that time. It was kind of interesting. And then over time, he kind of, I guess, didn't have the time for sports, and he's kind of lost the engagement. But I remember when I was younger, my dad was a huge Cardinals fan. But yeah. Another question, we noted some questions, and I think we've covered most of the ones that we noted down for this interview. But I was just kind of curious what you think about fall sports that have happened and are happening, and then also winter and spring sports. If there's anything you're excited to watch from Owensville's teams, like, what's the best way of putting that?
Like
that
what?
you think could have some success? Like, is there anything you're excited to see how far they could go? Maybe.
Girls basketball. I mean,
Mhm.
fun to see what they do for an encore after last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a special season last year.
Granted, it'll be tough replacing Emma, but I think they've got some freshmen that can contribute some valuable minutes.
Definitely, yeah.
I feel like the hardest part with their team right now is, for whatever reason, I can't figure out what the reason is. Owensville recently has not been able to field much of a girls basketball program as far as numbers, not as far as talent.
Right.
And it's going to be hard when you lose 3 seniors. I mean, last year they only played 6 or 7 people,
Pretty much.
and you lose 3 of your starters.
Half
It's going to be interesting to see. Which, grant, they're keeping Cam Caldwell and Allie Daniels, who
Yeah, they're-
were 2 major contributors, and then they have a couple people off the bench that will have to step up, of course.
And I'll have Bren Wright coming back, too, because she wasn't able to play last year.
I
because
feel
of her
like she
shoulder.
hasn't played hardly at all in high school. She's
She's been hurt quite a bit.
been with the injury bug a lot
Yeah.
recently as we've gotten into high school. But
Which is horrible because she's a really good athlete.
yeah,
Just in general, track and everything.
Yeah,
But
she
it'll-
was fourth the other day at Herman for cross country.
I didn't even know she did cross
I
country.
didn't either.
Yeah, me neither. I had no idea that she did that.
I just learned something.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Learned something new from Will.
I think it'll also be interesting to see, like, obviously we won't be here anymore, but next year to see maybe, of course, when you have a team go to the Final Four like that and all that, and then this year they'll lose the last 2 like starters on their team to see where they'll go from there, to see if they can keep a solid program or not. Be interesting to watch. Of course, same thing with football too. We had a really good team there for a while, and it feels like unfortunately we have went downhill.
That happens. Girls wrestling, another example. I mean, you got Liz Adams, who's going to go on to William Woods.
Well, she's got something wrong with her knee right now. I've been seeing she's on crutches right now. I don't know.
Is that like volleyball related? Do you
Yeah, I
know?
think so.
I would
I'm pretty sure.
assume that'd be my best guess, but
She didn't have her crutches when they played Herman.
maybe it's just get through. Maybe keeping it so it doesn't get worse during the day, and then when it comes game time,
Yeah.
Could be.
that's what I would be my best guess. But of course, we're all for, of course, baseball players. So I was kind of curious also, like, if you had any thoughts on our baseball team maybe this season.
You got a lot coming back. I mean, should be able to give people a run. And Herman, of course, won a district title last year. Be interesting to see when you guys go at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope I still think about that district championship game so much.
I know. It'll cross your
still-
mind a bunch.
I haven't really had the, I guess the word would be emotion from it. Like, it doesn't bother me anymore at all. I don't lose sleep over it.
No.
But you still definitely think about it a lot on the what could have been type thing.
Yeah, that's the part. It's like what could have been.
But I feel like I just feel like that thought will never. I don't see it ever leaving anytime soon.
No, I mean I'll definitely be a 40-year-old dad, and I'll be like, yeah, I was up against MLB Drake Gower. I was pitching against him.
Back in what? Back in 24.
Yeah, back in 24 district game. That was. Such a that. I don't care. I felt like that was such a good game. Like for people to watch and everything too. It was just such a
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
low scoring pitching game.
That game, and then our game when we played in what was
Savannah.
Yeah,
Savannah,
Savannah,
the first game over there, that night game. Got to play at a minor league stadium, which
Against a
was
state-ranked team.
pretty cool, against a team that I believe they were at the time. They were ranked like 4th or 5th or something like
fourth,
that
I
in
think,
class
yeah.
in class 4. So I mean, a solid team in a wood bat tournament, and we took them to extra innings in a very exciting game. Those two, there's something about baseball, and then of course when I used to play football, there's something about playing under lights.
It's
Whole
it's
different
just-
atmosphere.
I don't know what it is, but it just kind of gives you that.
I'm gonna miss that feeling after this year.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, it's gonna be like, all right, on to greener pastures,
On to life.
of course.
on to life.
On to adulting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be exciting.
Exciting's a word. Will looks like he likes adulting.
Hey, I get to talk sports and be around sports, so
True.
That would be an awesome job, really.
Yeah, he's still kind of. I mean, obviously not playing, but still the same.
Yeah.
General topic.
yeah.
So that'd be interesting.
Mhm.
I don't. I don't see myself as a sports editor. I don't think I would. I don't think people would read my sports editing. I feel like I'd be a very bland,
Yeah.
like writer. I don't think I could do it. But I could see it being a fun job though if I could handle it.
Mm.
I don't think I'd be able to keep up with it.
No, there's so
Yeah,
many
like-
games. Yeah.
It's a lot to cover, and you just be like, what
a lot
do I
of
do?
so many different sports and teams, and
Well, yeah, you said you covered 7 teams over. Gosh, I don't even know how many sports there are. Probably I don't know 12. We'll
Yeah,
say.
well, just think how many events go on
Give
on
or
one
take.
night at Owensville.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
What's going
There's
on?
there's something going
And
on.
then multiply it by 7 too, and then
Yeah.
It gets. I'm sure it gets crazy. I can only
Yeah.
imagine.
like tonight I'm down in Steelville for Bell Volleyball. They're either have a outright or shared GVC title.
Well, I think that's the spring. I feel like is the season the most, and maybe you have a different opinion on this. Spring seems like would be the most chaotic from. I feel like spring is really short,
Hmm.
and there's also a lot of sports in there.
And Mother Nature can wreak havoc on that.
yeah.
Well, spring to me, it's only really like 2 months. I mean, it's from
Really, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
the middle of March to the middle of May. Versus, football, they've been playing. A football season's what? I guess it's about 2 months too.
Late August through November, so
Yeah, I mean,
but also football only has 1 game a week, and baseball could have I don't know how many.
well,
games
yeah,
a
that
week.
too. But also in fall, you only have football, cross country, and volleyball. I believe. Is there anything else in the fall?
soccer,
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
soccer.
soccer.
Soccer isn't.
boys soccer.
Yeah,
But we don't even have boys soccer.
not here, no.
But then you got in the spring, you have baseball, golf, track, which track is a huge one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's so much stuff to cover with track. I mean, it's
Oh yeah.
chaotic. And then, of course, soccer.
Mhm.
Girls' soccer is in the spring. So, yeah, I feel like, to
Props
me,
to you,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
because that's a lot of stuff.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think I could do it. I'd have, like you do in the paper, of course, it'd be the paper needs to come out this day. It'd be, I have no research. It'd be looking on the internet. So and so won. Copy paste.
Mm-hmm.
Got the score. Good enough. That'd be me. I would not be able to keep up with it. But I don't know. Me and Owen aren't big hockey guys. Matt, you got any? You want to talk about the Blues a little bit?
Well, their game's tonight against the Sharks, and they won their first game against the Kraken. I think that they 3 goals in a minute and 33 seconds to come
Yes.
back against the Kraken.
What was
That
what was the score?
3-2?
Mhm.
Yeah, and Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg are 2 new guys, and I think it was it Broberg or Holloway who scored the goal? Do you know?
I don't know.
No, but they.
Are you a big hockey guy, Will?
Yeah, I've been to a couple of games.
I love the Blues. Like you said, how your dad watching the Cardinals to determine their mood. Well, me with the Blues, it determines my mood a little
I
bit.
feel like with hockey it has to do with how much time I have and if they're good or not. I don't watch. Like right now, I just don't really have much time to watch hockey, so I don't. Versus like football on Sundays at my house. My dad still is a huge NFL.
Game's at
fan.
9:30 tonight. Real late.
He's busy.
Yeah, I'm not staying up till. I'll maybe watch the beginning of it, but
Turn it on.
I also don't want to watch the first period and then have to go to bed. But
Yeah.
Well,
Now
now
that-
Jansen's past his bedtime. Can't watch a Blues game.
yeah,
Oh man.
where'd you say they're playing at?
It'll be in San Jose 'cause their home opener's not till the 15th.
So that would be why it's so late because San Jose is
It's yeah.
West Coast.
West
That's
Coast.
so it'd be 7:30
They're
is where they're playing.
Yep, that's why
So-
they're so late. And I only, with what like TV wise what we have, I get the ESPN games like the ESPN Plus. So that's kind of cool. The first 2 games are on ESPN Plus.
So I think you've said this before, talked about it more, but where do you see the Blues finishing this year?
Like with how they play, like with the team they got, they're not going to dominate. They're not going to dominate. They don't have the team who's going to go in and dominate. But we have such good goaltending from Bennington that literally without Bennington we would be screwed. But with Bennington being our goaltender, we're able to kind of squeak through games. So that's why I think that we're going to be close to the wild card. If not in the wild card, that's how our season's going to go.
Well, hockey, is it still 8 teams in each, or do they change it?
What do you mean?
How many teams from each conference make the playoffs?
I believe so. If there's 30, yeah, I think that's right.
It was 8. I remember
It
from
still
when
is. I think it's.
I still watched hockey, but I don't
Yeah, was it,
because I know like the NBA they recently added the play-in.
yeah, they got the Eastern Conference.
I don't know if anyone's big
That sounds
NBA in here, but
I'm not. I'm more of college basketball, which I like. That's just me.
well, I think the NBA play-in format is kind of interesting though, because it's like instead of a bracket, it's the 10 plays the 9, and then the winner of that game plays the 8, and then it's something like that. But it's like it's not a full bracket. It's so and so plays this game, and if they win, then they have to play another one to even get in. You have to win multiple games if you're like a 10
Didn't
or
they do
9.
something weird of like some kind of playoff like during the season or something?
They
The
did an
in-season tournament,
in-season
yeah.
tournament, yeah.
What like is that?
I think that was just a little bit of a quick cash grab in the middle of the year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah.
Because the way I understood it really doesn't determine the NBA Finals. I guess getting an in-season tournament win would be cool, but I know the Lakers, I believe, won it.
They're not going to go out and party for a.
Well, I don't think
tournament win, you know?
in 15 years people are going to remember that the Lakers won the first ever in-season tournament. And maybe they will, but I don't think it's as
No.
obviously you remember, teams that win the finals, the World Series, the Super Bowl, stuff like that. I don't think the in-season tournament's like that big of a deal.
I think I know this is women's basketball, but I think the WNBA has been doing an in-season tournament for a long while. I think that's where NBA got it from.
Well, I believe the WNBA too. I believe they have kind of a weird format too, kind of like I was saying the play-in. Because I believe in the WNBA, it's like every single team makes the playoffs, but based on how many, like what seed you are, determines how many games you have to win to make the playoffs. Versus like in most sports, unless you get a first-round bye, like in the old hockey, I don't know if it's still the same, but used to, the 8 seed and the 1 seed had to win the same amount of games to win a finals in hockey. Versus in the WNBA, if you're the bottom team in the playoffs, you had to win a lot of series to eventually make it.
Yeah,
So-
my mom and my sister both watched the WNBA, and I was confused whenever they were showing me it because they don't have conferences in the WNBA because they don't have enough teams. So they just put like the 1 seed on the left, 2 seed on the right, 3 seed on the left, 4 seed on the right. It's like that, and I don't remember how many teams are in it, but it was like kind of weird.
You don't remember how many teams there are?
Mm-mm.
I believe the only reason I even know this is because they added them to 2K. But I believe at one point there was like 8. There was only like 8 last time I looked, and that was a couple years ago. They
I think
very
that
well
might
could
be
have expanded.
that might be right though.
But
I
I remember
do-
there was about 8.
I do know who's in the WNBA championship. It's the Liberty and the oh my gosh, the Minnesota Lynx.
Is that going on right now?
Yeah, pretty soon I think.
What happened to the Indiana Fever?
I have no idea.
No, you don't know.
I only know that because my mom watches it, and I went to a Lynx game over the summer because my sister likes watching them. So
Well, I know very little about the WNBA, but I know the Fever, despite adding Caitlin Clark, I think they were still a pretty
yeah, it's like
bottom of the barrel team from what I know about the
because
WNBA.
they were because it's kind of like in the NFL how if you're like a really bad team, you get like the first overall pick. That's pretty much what happens. So they were like a really bad team. Just
Oh,
picked
that makes sense.
Caitlin
Yeah.
Clark.
Yeah, so I think they were by far like the worst team when they got Caitlin Clark, and then I think now they're starting to make
A better, yeah.
they're starting to hopefully turn things
That
around.
is so crazy with everything, like just how Caitlin Clark, how everybody, like she is making the WNBA
Like yeah,
something it's never been
Yeah.
before, and
Yeah.
that's just so cool.
yeah.
Like I'll say right now, I'm a Caitlin Clark fan, 100%. I think it's
Amen.
awesome.
Good. I'm happy for you, Matt.
Yeah, but like how you are with hockey, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch the WNBA.
I only go if I'm taking. If I'm just taking.
Hey,
with
I
them,
mean,
so
I would do the
I
same
just
thing.
go, yeah.
That's probably the only way I'd pay to watch is if
Yeah.
somebody else paid for it.
They play in the same arena as the Timberwolves. The Lynx do.
Now, I believe as we're running out of time, I believe the last topic I had noted down to talk about, which, of course, as I said about Mizzou, we have all got our fair share about the Cardinals. So I was just curious, Will, if you had any opinions on the Cardinals this year and
Yeah.
in the future and what you thought maybe needed to be done to turn it around.
Ownership.
Heck yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
I think all of us Cardinals fans are all just like,
In agreement of it.
and
What?
yeah.
I don't know if anyone else has seen it, but there's a thing on Instagram. It keeps popping up. It's like a dude. It's a man that's made out of like puzzle pieces, and it says you only need one piece to like make it fit. And the one piece it has written on it's like new GM, new coaches, new owners,
That's
3 starting pitchers, 3 middle of the lineup. Like it's just a list of stuff.
An all-in-one puzzle piece.
Yeah, it's all right above this one puzzle piece.
Oh man.
But yeah, I think I don't want to say go into full rebuild because I hate watching. Like, I'm a Broncos fan in the NFL. We won that one Super Bowl. Well, I believe this is the 9th or 10th year since we won. It was in 2015, so this would be
9.
after this year, it'd be 10 years,
10, yeah.
and they haven't made the playoffs since. And that sucks to be a fan of a team that never does anything. Their best year was the year after, and they've gotten worse. So I hate to say full rebuild, but
They definitely do something different.
they definitely need to completely change the culture and the everything. They need to change just about everything.
It's just
Yeah.
like watching Dumb and Dumber with Mosaic. You know, it really is. It's just like,
And Ollie Marmol,
what are you doing?
Yeah.
which I was kind of sad to see that. I believe aren't they all coming back next year?
Yep.
Yep. And then that new guy, Shane Bloom's going to be the new president of baseball operations, and he led one of the top farm systems. I think it was the Red Sox. Don't quote me on it, but I think he
you're right.
led their farm system, which is cool because we obviously have a little bit of a problem. We don't have a problem with developing the players, but we have a problem with like
When they get to the
once they-
MLB,
We don't know how to handle them once they get
Yeah.
to MLB.
kind of like Jordan Walker, how he
Yep.
was really, really good, but his defense is not good at all. We talked about this before on this podcast, that his offense is good, but his defense is.
Well, in Jordan Walker's defense, he was a infielder.
Yeah, you were telling me that, yeah.
And then, of course, they had to move him to the outfield because he was a third baseman.
Yeah, but
And I don't think he's not Arenado yet, so,
Not
of
yet.
course, he didn't get that spot. So they ended up trying to move him to the outfield, and it is not.
there's definitely some guys that are exciting to watch. Mason Wynn, Mike McGreevy, some guys that are pretty exciting to watch that should turn out pretty good.
Yep, it's always like that. We always have young guys, and hopefully, I think we have one more year probably of kind of mediocre season. You never know, but just because of our manager, and
I mean, we improved over last year, so that's at least something.
we did, but that's why I feel like DeWitt thinks that too. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, we won 83 games. Everything's okay, guys.
Yeah,
I honestly feel like unless you're like White Sox bad,
Yeah,
worst team ever.
nothing matters. Winning record, losing record, you have to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
Because what were they, 83 and 79?
something like that. Yeah,
What's that any different than a 70-win team?
game first or last.
30 and 120 team.
Exactly. Now, yeah, if you're the White Sox,
Oh man,
that's a whole nother story. That's just
rough one there.
sell the team. Actually, don't even sell the team.
Give it away.
Get
for
rid of
free.
it.
Yeah, give it away.
Take them out. Put someone new.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe we're starting to come close on our time to finish. I was just gonna say, do you have anything else to add, Will?
I don't think so, guys.
Well,
I think we pretty well.
It was fun. I mean, just
Yeah.
got to yap with you for a little bit.
I think we summed everything local, and of course,
professional.
I guess Mizzou and Blue. I mean, that's still local.
local enough.
Hopefully, on a real note, that the Dutchmen do pull out a win, Zayden. Hopefully, you
hope.
guys get a win and against Union and show them up.
Well,
Give us a good game.
we got Derek Brandt on the Mizzou roster.
Yep.
Yeah, that is awesome.
We haven't talked about that.
I
yet.
on TV. I was watching the game, and it was like going past, like kind of showing everybody on the sideline. It was like it said Brandt number 40 something. I was like, heck yeah.
I think he's
that's
just
so
I think he's number 40.
He is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's cool though.
but I believe he was practice player of the year or something like that last year. He won something.
Yeah, it was like player of the week or something like that. I saw that.
Maybe it was the week. I don't know. But I remember seeing he got an award. That was exciting.
I remember people were posting it everywhere, reposting it everywhere.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
See an Owensville athlete go get
Hopefully,
for a big school.
I think it'd be exciting. Hopefully, maybe if he does eventually, which I'm sure he's still, I guess you'd say, developing.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully, maybe one day get to see him actually on the field.
Yep.
That'd be very
Yeah.
exciting.
Losing the receivers like Theo Weiss and Luther Burden.
Well, I believe
Stuff like
he's
that,
there as
so.
he's listed as a safety. I believe.
Oh, he's listed as a safety.
Yeah, I think.
I believe that's what Mizzou wanted him for. Was more defense than offense. But
Yep.
I mean, there have been plenty of defenders that ended up turning to receivers. I mean, Deion Sanders played both. I mean, there's other guys that have played both.
Yep. I think we're gonna get cut on time though.
Yeah, probably.
course.
Yeah, we probably need
Will,
to wrap it.
thank you for coming in.
Well,
Yeah,
you
thank
bet,
you.
guys.
It was a great time talking to
yeah.
you, and good luck in your future studying of every sport
Every
around
local
here.
team
Yep,
and every
every-
local sport.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Oh yeah, guys.
Yeah, thank you. That wraps episode 6 up out of Podket.